Hello, my name is Miranda HP.
And I'm Connor Calloway.
And we are the Bountiful Bards.
Please join us in our first ever recorded D&D campaign,
The Fountains of Cathaidra.
And we're back.
Hi.
Oh, wait. Mic trouble. Well, no mic trouble. I had the master volume on so I could hear myself as an echo. But, new mics. We have new mics now.
Yes, we got rid of old Mike. We had to take him out back and shoot him. Sorry, Mike.
Poor old Mike. Oh, Mike was my favorite character in Breaking Bad. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Been replaced.
Oh. Did you bury them?
Didn't have to.
Oh.
I used disintegrate.
There you go. So yeah, we have new mics. We got some directional mics that we can use and hopefully make everything a little bit better with some XLR cables and all that other good stuff and little bitty audio box here that's doing all the mixing. So we hope it gives a better performance, better quality, but we're just amateur hobbyists when it comes to this kind of thing. So you have to give us some time and be patient with us as we tinker and find what's best. So any announcements, anything you want to talk about, Miranda, before we go into the swing of things here?
I had a croissant.
What kind?
Costco.
Costco croissant is very good.
Or as the Amazon device says, croissant.
Croissant.
Everything else, like jalapeno, but croissant. She says like super French for some reason.
I think she wants us to believe that she's not as intelligent as she actually is. So that's why she messes up as I'm doing the quotation marks with my fingers.
I'm pretty sure it's just indicative of the programming with which it was,
If that's what you feel, I feel the other way, though.
Oh, okay. I attribute no sentience to electronic devices until it's too late.
Oh, until it's too late. My book is out, and also the book that Miranda was the editor for. It is currently out on Amazon. It is Seasons, Pillars of Creations. If you want to check it out, it is on there. If not, that's okay. You can just keep listening to us here. It's no biggie. But of course, I have to plug in my own stuff because it's the only time I get to do it. I'm really bad at marketing.
Seasons, Pillars of Creation, singular.
Singular?
Plural pillars, singular creation.
I could have sworn I put an S at the end of pillar.
Pillars of Creation. Yeah, you did. The pillars is what I'm saying is plural. The creation, you said creation with an S. It's
Pillars
not.
of Creations.
There. No.
Creational pillars.
Pillars of Creation.
Okay.
No S at the end of creations.
Okay, that's, once again, you're saying things. I'll just have to disagree with you, and I'm sorry. What are you doing?
Looking it up.
No, don't look it up. Oh, enough about that. Let's start focusing, and we will. Let's get back into this session. It's really awesome that the mics finally came in, and what I'm hearing the feedback right now, and it sounds really good. So I hope this quality continues. So are you ready?
Yep. Pillars of Creation. Get wrecked.
Lia.
Yes.
As you recall from our previous session, you met a corner folk, a barbarian woman by the name of Shala, who needed help discovering where the rumors of corner folk attacking townspeople was coming from. You journeyed with her to the village of Hill End in an effort to determine what attacked the village. Come to find out, it was Shala's best friend, a hill giant who had fallen to a hereditary disease which caused her to go mad with starvation and just practically eat anything in sight. Instead of having to slay her friend, you were able to ask the hedge mother of the town for a magical amulet that healed the disease from Shala's friend. Of course, a mob had mustered during all the commotion and marched upon you and your new friends. Unfortunately, Shala had to go with her hill giant back towards the corner folk to get away, leaving you to deal with the mob. After several rounds of charisma checks, I'm sure, and basically smoothing everything over and the help of the hedge mother, you were able to calm everybody down, send them back home, and then find passage back to the city of Etchings.
Well, especially because they were like kobolds or whatever, right? Or gnolls.
Gnolls are the ones that attacked you guys while you were trying to save her.
So pretty easy to be like, yeah, gnolls.
They saw the corpses and everything as well, so yeah, that does make sense.
Yep.
So you ready to just move on to the next part?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right.
Voidon. The snow builds thicker as the days grow weaker. Weeks have passed since the event in the country, and with it, the sun refuses to rise any higher. As if the distant star has finally grown fatigued for a year and is ready to take some time to rest. It is the eve of Voidon, the time of Cathaidra's year, where darkness reigns and only the faith can protect from the shadow. But not just yet. There is at least one more day of light before the void comes, and for the civilized folk, it is a time of celebration. Lia, help me. Lia, you awaken warm in your bed, head spinning from your dream. You can't recall the specifics, just your name being called. That has happened nearly a dozen times since your concert in Miro, but this dream held something more than the others did not. 2 little added words. You shake your head to toss away the last of the fatigue and remember the day. You can feel it on your skin and hear it from the other students in the hall. Realizing you slept late into the day after a long night of studying in the solarium for the enjoyment of seeing how your exams have ended. Studying for enjoyment, seeing how your exams have ended. You race to clean, dress, and prepare for the evening's enjoyment. Is there anything you would like to do before heading off to today's festivities?
So I definitely take my dream journal.
All right, you have a dream journal now?
And it has like moons and stars on it. Super special. With one of those little cheesy locks that you think is like...
It's a heart-shaped or star-shaped?
Star-shaped.
Okay.
Or like, well, it's like a moon and a star, like clicks together.
All right.
You know, like way back in the day you get from Claire's or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember. I've been in Claire's a lot. My mom didn't know I went in there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
There's a lot of glitter.
Yeah, just, writes down very carefully day, dream, everything that she remembers from it, and then puts it away, like, shoved into like the sock drawer or whatever. Promptly forgets about it and goes about her day.
Okay. So today is the 4/8 of Tindrin. Essentially the last day of winter, if I was to translate it into real world seasons, because I have to be extra and have names for different names for all my month and seasons. But it is known to everyone within the sleeping spine as Last Light, a day of festivities.
Cool.
Are you ready to head to town?
Yep.
All right. There are several horses tethered. There are several horse-tethered sleighs awaiting the students eager to make their way to Etchings to partake in the festivities of Last Light. The sky is cast in violets and blues, the last rays of the sun weakening behind the sleeping spine. At each corner of the sleigh, lanterns hang, its glass colored to match the warmth of the sun. Once every sleigh is filled, the teams of horses start their trot to the city, leaving the remaining students behind for when they can make the return trip. On either side of the city gates as you make your way along, there are braziers roaring with fire and illuminating the grounds far brighter than you have seen before, and the streets within the city match its brightness. Every 20 feet or so, one can be seen, these braziers, sitting low to the ground, burning bright enough to melt the snow on the walking path so no one slips and falls. You hear the chorus of company as people make their way along the city center. The church's hexagon, I put pentagon for some reason, the church's hexagon-shaped cathedral, the Lord's judicial building, the old school, and the city's largest park all stand at the quadrants of the city, each ablaze with the festivities light dedicated to the sun at full strength. The plaza surrounding the city's center fountain is adored with stalls and vendors. As you know, Lia, Last Light is a time for people to exchange needed goods to prepare for the days ahead. Anyone finding themselves with too little of one good or too much of another can make the exchanges here in the stalls. Not enough salt? There's plenty to spare. Too much dried meat? Why not drop it off here? All is facilitated by the church and handled with care. But that is not all that the festival offers. There are games to be played and competitions, memories to make and keep people warm while they weather the cold, and food. Oh, the smells of food are more powerful than anything experienced in Dewdrop. The last tradition, and to some the most important, is packing in the last few pounds to shed off during the hibernation. As the sleighs come to a stop, Jimothy is waiting for you. Hey, he cries, waving with a turkey leg in either hand.
Are one of those for me?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And he hands over one of the turkey legs to you. It's steaming hot. You bite into it, and it's just some of the juices just spill over. You kind of have to lean forward with your teeth and tear off a chunk so you don't have any of it that dribbles on your beautiful magical cloak. Right? I mean, that's how I eat a turkey leg. I've seen you eat a turkey leg like that before.
Yeah, of
so,
course.
Yeah,
Which, like, the cloak, because it can change color, like, and stuff, right? So she would have had it be this, like, beautiful, shimmery kind of blue with, like, almost ermine at the edges.
Ooh, very pretty, very fastidious. No, yes? Festivus?
Festival?
Fastidious.
Festive.
Festive. Very festive. Yeah, there we go. Oh, my goodness. I guess I need more coffee.
That can be arranged.
Anyways.
The coffee enema.
No, I don't want a coffee enema. Please. No, thank you. What would you like to do? The festival is yours.
Well, basically the way that you and I approach these sort of things is we kind of go around and get like okay, so what are we going to hit first? You have to like, especially food, because you have to calculate. It's like, all right, do we want to play stuff first? Do we want to eat stuff first? So it's just sort of a meander and kind of take in and scope everything, especially if it's a lot and very loud and noisy. It's kind of overwhelming. So it's like, let's parcel out where everything is.
Okay. So yeah, so you're going past several stalls that have storage that they're putting together for food.
Several storage stalls.
Something like that. You have people walking up asking if one stall has, anything extra they may need, and they can write their name down and take what they need and leave something behind. Basically just to make sure that everybody is well fed, because during the time of Voidon, people generally don't leave their house much. It's definitely about a month and a half of just tucking in because of how cold it is, and also how dangerous it could be because of the lack of light.
Scary.
Yes, the city maybe not so much, but out in Dewdrop,
everybody batten down the hatches.
You batten down the hatches.
Kept those underground tunnels well cleared.
Right, but you see that you see some stalls that are selling different holy symbols from the church, ghost wards as well, as silly as that must be. You see other thing, cases with free water and things of that sort. There's apparently going to be some type of eating competition. There's a performance competition if you want to get involved in that. You see athletic lifting. You see acrobat tumbling. You see there's even a little like patchwork cloth maze set up that children or people can go through, try and be sneaky and not to be caught by any of the sentinels inside. You also see
like musical, or musician-oriented tables.
There's a performance competition for that. You could definitely join that if you want, but there is music being played. There are seasonal songs upon request.
Booths that have strings for lyres and wax and things like that. A lot of places like that'll have super nice chamois or bags or containment devices for people to keep things in, keep them nice, waxes, oils, things to keep your instruments from being damaged, especially if it's so cold.
Of course there's a stall like that.
Yeah.
Would you like to go and talk to the individual running the stall?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk up and there is a gnome fella that is behind the booth. He has an assortment of instrument cases behind him. On the wall to his left of the curtain is just, packets of strings, picks, and things that people may need, or polish for any type of brass instruments and stuff like that. He has a pair of round glasses that he's wearing. He's got a very green, it's blonde with green tips, curled mustache, very dapper looking suit. You can see he has bright green overalls under a nice shirt with a purple vest. Not campy. I know that you may be feeling that. It's definitely more of basically a warm presentation. As you walk up, you hear him talking to some other customers, and he's like, yes, absolutely, we can get that for you. How is that instrument doing? I remember last time you brought it by, there's a little nick in the side. Did we get that fixed? Is everything fine? Did the varnish stay? Seems like he very much cares about his work, but also a little bit of a showman. He says, okay, wonderful, yes. Oh, yes, ma'am, how can I help you?
I'm just trying to see what all you have to offer.
I have plenty to offer. What are you looking for? And if not, I could probably get it mailed to you.
Okay, so let's see. We don't have it written here, but she has a lot of instruments. What does she actually? Okay, flute, lute, lyre. Okay, flute, lute, lyre.
That works for me.
A flute, lute, lyre. That's what it says. Okay.
I've never seen an instrument, a fruit lute lyre. This is insane. How do you play this?
A lying fruit loop. How dare it? Okay,
you would need a third hand.
So let's see. the lyre and the lute use different strings, and the flute would most likely use one of those weird chamois cloths that has the string attached to it that you go zoop all the way through, polish, but I think what she's most likely looking for is some sort of travel containment device.
For which instrument?
Any of them. We'll see what he's got.
Oh, good. I've got plenty of that. Is there a particular color you're looking for in the case? Do you want something to match your beautiful cloak? I don't have anything like that, but I could have it made. If not, I have this beautiful brown leather box for this instrument as well. I definitely have all the strings that you need. That's not going to be a problem at all. And polish too. I make my own, and I have heard nothing but good things about it. When I used to live up in Miro, everybody came for me to acquire some.
And I tend to tote my gear back and forth and move it around a lot. So I'm looking for something that will keep it nice and snug, keep it safe, but be pretty lightweight to carry.
Yeah, here you go. And he goes and he puts over a box, and it's a square shaped. It's not shaped like your instrument. He undoes 3 bronze clasp, opens it up, and you can see inside. There's a beautiful red velvet. There's no shape to the instrument being inside, but he holds up several foam blocks he has pre-cut that, or he has even a nice little like saw with other foam blocks that he can make fit for your instrument to fit in there if you wanted to.
Cool. So is it like, okay, so the flute ones are long and narrow.
Yes.
The lute one would probably be more of a boxy shape, and the lyre one would be really big. So
Right.
what shape does it look like it would fit the most?
Well, the one he pulled out was definitely for your lute.
Okay, cool. The lute probably needs the most help anyway.
He goes, I can get you a little bigger one, and I can make it to where the flute can fit, but not the lyre.
No, that's fine. The lyre, I have like a bag for it. The lute, yeah, let's see if we can get the lute, yes, whatever. Lyre, yep, that's the one.
Now, up front, ma'am, this is going to be a little expensive. I hope that's okay.
How much are we talking about?
It's probably for 2 instruments, the case, the leather, and everything else, also with the strings that you need. It's probably going to be about 15 notes. I hope that's okay, which is silver pieces.
I only needed one for the lyre. I wanted to potentially commission something for the flute, but I just want the one case for the lyre and maybe one extra packet of strings.
Okay, that's not a problem. That would bring you about, I think about six notes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So can I tell you what I would like for my flute, please?
Please, ma'am. Please tell me.
So essentially what I would like is I would like a quick assemble. Because you know how sometimes you have to get on there real quick. So I want to be able to have it to where I can have my flute laying, because flutes come apart.
Of course.
I'm telling you this. There's the mouthpiece, the main piece, and the other one, so on and so forth.
I used to hang
They
out
come
with a
apart.
band, I know.
So I need something where I can basically unfurl it, click, 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 wrap it back up. So I want a soft thing that I could have by itself that I can then put within a hard thing, but I don't want it to be like this hard case that you're using here.
Okay.
I need it to be something much more flexible, but I do need it to protect the flute. So basically a 2-in-1.
May I see your flute?
Sure.
Takes it. Let me get some measurements. This isn't something I can put together right now, but
Right.
I could definitely have you something at the other end of Voidon if you can wait that long, if that's okay.
Sure, it'd be worth the wait, I think.
Wonderful. And he takes out a little measuring tape and looks at all of it, measures 3 times, and then takes out a little notepad. She goes, your name, please.
Lia Wicker.
Lia Wicker. Would you be related to any other Wickers, any other musicians?
Many of them. Well, at least one other musician, but many other Wickers. That's one over there, Jimothy's like.
Yeah, Jimothy is like, he just finished off his turkey leg. He's
Not
looking
paying
around for a
attention.
trash can. He's got grease on either side of his cheek. He's like, and then he sees there's a dog that comes by, and he hands the bone to the dog and pats it on the head, and the dog cheerfully runs off, wagging its tail, looking like it's a golden retriever-ish looking dog. Runs off, and he just smiles, pats it on the head, and kind of rubs his hands over the dog's fur towards his butt as to wipe his grease off his hands. It's something the dog will find later.
Yeah, it will.
And he looks at me and goes, huh?
No, this hulking specimen is my younger brother.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I used to help a younger individual with the last name Wicker. He used to come to me as well when I lived in Miro.
Maybe it was my dad.
Maybe.
Timothy.
Timothy Wicker. Yes, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's come to my shop many of time. I wonder if he visits my son. I left this shop in Miro to my son, and I came down here to start a new franchise just because. Starting over. I know my son's taken care of because of my reputation up there, but I heard that musicians are starting to flock down here as well, so I just decided to come on down.
Well, I'm hoping that we can be of mutual benefit to each other since I started the guild, the musicians guild at
Oh, yes, I've heard all about that. It's starting to take off.
yeah.
Well,
So
that's wonderful.
I'm increasing your demand for your supply.
Oh, very lovely. I will put an extra charm onto the case here. My name is Zilda, by the way.
Zilda.
Zilda Pimnote.
Pimnote.
Yeah. We changed our family name to be more eccentric.
It's very cute.
He kind of just, triddles his mustache a little bit. All right, I will have this done for you. I have my orders. I will put it with the others. And he very carefully pulls apart the piece of paper, which is perforated. Hey, look at me. And sticks it into a nice little lockbox over there where his coins are as well. So, it's definitely on his mind and right there. He goes, if that'll be all, there's your strings, and I'll have it for you at the end of the month.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Stay warm.
Stay warm. Did he already fit the loot to the...
Oh, yeah.
Or
He was doing it while you were talking.
Yeah, the loot, because the lyre...
You're wanting the lyre box, right?
Because the loot is the lyre... Yeah.
Lyre's like a harp, right?
Yes.
You have to forgive me. My medieval instruments can be a bit lacking. And of course, my favorite is the hurdy-gurdy, and no one ever really wants to play one.
Okay, so just clarify for me, because I guess I'm like not awake yet.
It's okay.
The box is for the lyre or for the loot?
I think you wanted it for the lyre, but if you wanted it for the loot, it could just be for the loot.
Yeah, I think the loot is what I meant, because the lyre, like lyres are easier to, because a lot of bards and stuff back in ye olde days would carry those around pretty.
Yeah.
They're much easier, whereas the loot is easier to damage because it's that hollow wooden thing. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so he fitted the foam underneath and then put the velvet back to
it
fit
fits
to
perfectly. It's beautiful velvet. It's actually very well done, and you're actually quite impressed.
And it's kind of like a triangle shape then, rather than a box, so that it fits on my back.
No, it's still rectangle shaped, not triangle shaped. But you definitely have a place to put your extra stuff in the corners of the.
See, because a lot of them look like they kind of, some of the generic ones are like vaguely triangular.
However you wanted the box to be, it is so. Okay. How's that?
Well, just because it makes sense to go between my shoulder blades, that way I'm not like bonking into
absolutely.
it.
It's got to be safe.
And it's got little pockets that are around the neck. That's where you hold things, so you don't want them scattered in there and stuff. You want it to fit nice and snug.
Jimothy comes up and he has a piece of bread stuffed with like some type of meat cheese concoction that he's nibbling on. He's like, "What are we doing now?"
You're gonna show me where you got that, and then we're gonna go.
I forgot to tell you. I passed my exams. I got into the solarium.
Yes.
I'll be dorming with you starting next term.
Great.
Not with you.
Okay, cool. Better.
Like in the same dorm like rooms. I don't want to share a room with you. You're disgusting. You fart in your sleep.
I do. I think you have woken yourself up from your farts, sir.
No, I've woken up to you tooting away with your little toot toot with your notes. Bites. He also has a mug that he holds one over to you. It's a hot cider that he found for you.
Hell yeah. I've got the lyre under my cloak essentially, and like the cloak is over the case that's on my back.
All right, not a problem.
Just because that's how she'll carry it all the time. I want her to get used to it.
Jimothy goes, "They're racing rabbits."
Rabbit racing?
Yeah, rabbit racing.
What a world.
Do you want to go race a rabbit?
Sure, but show me what all you found, Jimothy. You seem excited. Let's go.
He definitely pulls you along over to the other stalls where they are having rabbit races where you can actually bet on which rabbit. You can look over the rabbits, scritch them, give them cuddles and everything, and pick which one you want to bet on. And about every 15 minutes or so, they let the rabbits run down a lane chute to some treats at the other end, and people are betting on them playfully. Light bets, nothing too heavy. There's like a 5 alm cap, which alms are coppers, just so nobody's like blowing their expenses like 40 gold a piece. The church is not, as you know, the church is not against gambling. They just don't want you to destroy your life savings on, the chance for victory. There's no reason for anything like that.
Yeah.
So you watch the rabbits go down the chutes a couple of times. As you continue on, you also see there's some hand shufflers going on that are doing card tricks and stuff, some sleight of hand. There's people naming plants and herbs and picking up maybe some medicinal herbs that they need as well. Just all different sorts. So if you see any stalls or anything you'd like to do, or if you want to, compete in then the performance competition, you can. If not, you can just hang out and just kind of enjoy the festivities as you wish.
Is there a fortune teller? There's always a fortune teller.
No.
Dang it.
No fortune
Dang
teller.
it. Dang it. Curse you, church. I wanted a ridiculous fortune teller.
As you are getting more drink, and Jimothy is getting a nice warm muffin to eat, you've probably ate your fill already. You had some camp stew, I would say. What else would want to find at this festival that Lia would fill up on?
Well, definitely, like you said, the turkey leg, whatever
Cheese.
that ridiculous bread cheesy concoction is, because that goes without saying. Then something sweet, so some sort of dessert.
All right.
Like whatever their version of a churro is or something.
Okay, they would, of course, hot sugared churros for sure. It's long, skinny.
Donuts, churros,
donuts,
you name
yes,
it.
absolutely. They fry it up in oil. It's delicious.
And then one of those ridiculously overpriced but delicious, like nuts that they, like candied nuts.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
that are inevitably served in one of those paper cones, just everywhere. It's universal. And cider.
You get it, and you go to turn, and you. I need you to make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh boy. That's really good. Acrobatics. 18. Wow.
You go to turn, and somebody is turning at the exact same time, holding a mug, and your bag of nuts hits their mug, and it goes flying out of your hands, and you're able to catch it, and then reach out and catch 2 more nuts that flew out of the bag, or basically like they're pralines. What are we talking about? That's what they are. And you look over and you see a furbolg of blue-haired. He has a blue furred skin with blondish hair, and he has a bit of a golden goatee as well, and just bright brown eyes that turns and looks at you. His ears twitch a little bit. He's definitely about a foot taller than you, with a pink nose or whatever. And he goes, I'm sorry. Did you catch everything? Do I need to pay for that?
Oh no, you're good. I somehow managed to save them.
Oh, that's good. Oh, pralines. I love those. Those are delicious.
They are.
My apologies. I am Carmine. I'm Cleric Carmine. How are you doing?
Hello, Cleric Carmine. My name is Lia.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, well, of course. You did me really great that time, so you suck now. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I only have +1 in perception. Holy crap. 5.
5? Well, he's a cleric. He's wearing the robes of the church, and he also has a holy symbol hanging over his chest right here. And he's looking over you and your brother. He's got a little bit of a smile, and he goes, are you enjoying the festivities?
Yes, of course. Are you?
Yes. We are thankfully allowed to let the breeze go through our robes a little bit during these festivities once everything's been set up. But everything's good. Did y'all need anything? Did you need more? So you don't need no more food or anything?
Can I insight check him? He is being really...
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if that's just how furbolgs are, but... 9.
9? He's a member of the church.
I don't trust him.
And as a magic user, you and your brother might be on a bit edge to be this close to a church official. For the 9, his disposition seems lovely enough. He continues. So what are your 2 names?
I'm Lia. This is Jimothy.
Lia, Jimothy. I haven't seen you around the cathedral, but it's a big place. I wouldn't expect to be able to see you anyway. So
We've been studying a lot.
Oh, are you students? Mm-hmm. Oh, at the Prime?
Yes.
I haven't been up to the Prime in years. I should come up there and visit the towers up there. They're very beautiful.
That they are. What a wonder.
Indeed. Are you from this city?
We are relatively new to the city. Been here for a time. And Jimothy, you've just gotten into the school, right? I know you're excited about it.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be starting next term. And he's like, oh, that's wonderful. I thankfully don't have to do much schooling anymore until they're willing to give me more prayers that I may need for my work. But, I just kind of relax and go through the motions, as it were.
Well, it was really nice to meet you. Jimothy, look, over there, there's a performance starting. Let's go see. And I start tugging his hand away. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Oh,
Sorry for bumping into
I want to
you.
go.
Okay.
He kind of
I'm just
follows along with you.
Great. I'm still pushing Jimothy. Is trying to kind of blend into the crowd as much as possible.
You come onto a trio of jugglers that are just tossing some wooden rings up into the air to one another to catch. As you come up and start watching them, there is a bucket that people can put, coins and stuff in. Halfway through the performance, one of the jugglers lights one of the rings on fire after dipping it in some oil, and they're wearing protective gloves while they're throwing it up in the air. Cleric Carmine, who's still hanging with you, doesn't really seem to pick up on social cues. Goes, I say it's nice to find a little fun this time of year, yeah?
Yep.
The darkness is so dreary.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, we have little to fear within the city, thanks to all the protective wards built into the walls. And did you know that there was a time when fearing the dark and the celebration was for far more serious than that? Because, you see, the sun is unable to share its grace with us for so long to have quite the effect on the land. There's a reason our civilized road even closes down during this time. Too many unanswered disappearances and too many horrors made real. I'm sorry. I studied all of that in the of the Voidon event records when I was earning my robes down in Vout. Have you ever been to the Holy City? I mean, I guess they're all holy, but the main one.
How close is Jimothy to the jugglers?
He's right next to you on the other side, and Cleric Carmine's kind of like standing behind both of you, just kind of talking.
But like, how close is Jimothy to the jugglers?
He's as close as you are to the jugglers. He's standing next to you.
Okay. Are the jugglers still on fire? Or no?
The jugglers are not on fire. The things they are juggling are on fire, though. Why? Are you going to push your brother into the jugglers? Yeah, that was
the intention, to have him trip.
If you want to, he will definitely roll against that. Let me get my D20 out.
Well, because I don't know how subtle Jimothy is if he picks up on me doing like the elbow thing. So let me elbow him first and see if he's paying attention.
Let me roll to see how he reacts, because it's either going to be, why did you hit me? Or it's going to be like, I get it. Okay. He turns to Carmen and goes, you don't get out of the church much, do you? He's like, no, I tend the graveyard. That's where they stuck me. So I don't have many people that talk back to me. So
it's not what
I'm just out here trying to meet people. So, and his ears kind of droop just a little bit and goes, I'm sorry if I've been a bit, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Pushy or whatever. But I'll leave you to be. It was a pleasure to meet you. Enjoy your time. And he raises his mug towards you.
Raise it back. Yep.
Jimothy goes, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Just, sometimes it could be a little bit uneasy around new people.
And you gotta remember, y'all are the feds.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, we're the feds?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. That's not my division of the church, but yeah.
You're the deads. They're the feds?
Yeah, I guess give me a charisma check.
Aw. Charisma.
Just a charisma modifier. Yeah, with your proficiency.
18.
Oh, he actually gives a chuckle. He goes, yeah, I guess so. We're not, we do, look at all this we put together. Yeah, the church can be a bit pushy about some things. I don't necessarily agree with everything they do. I mean, please don't tell nobody that. You'll get me in trouble. Don't tell my boss. You'll get me in trouble.
Who's your boss?
That is Cleric Castia. He's over the sanctuary in the graves. There's about 5 of us, and we tend to burials and stuff. It's morbid work, but somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
He tries to make you laugh. But I'm there because I guess I found it kind of interesting, so I decided to focus my studies on it and make sure when we put people in the ground, they don't come back out of the ground. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Well, since you don't really get out often, over there I see they've got sort of like, and I'm assuming at a festival they have places where people can sit and eat and stuff that's a little further away from everything, so it's not quite as like in your face, just like places to sit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can go sit down over there.
Yeah, let's go chat for a second. Give you a chance to get out and actually talk for a little bit without feeling like you're being pushy or anything.
Okay, cool. Oh, he turns and you give me a perception check.
Come on, Moomins. 15. No, 16. 16.
Okay, you kind of hear him under his breath. He goes, maybe friends? I don't know. He goes over and he sits his mug down at the table. Since he's bigger than y'all, he actually wades and people move out of his way. And he sits down and he kind of adjusts his holy symbol, the hexagon with this inside a square.
So, well, while he's walking over there, we're like following behind him. I'm just gonna say, like, super quiet to Jimothy. Careful.
Yeah. Lia, we've been around these people all our lives. Let's just act natural. You don't have nothing to worry about.
He'll see what I mean in a minute. It's fine.
Okay. You go and you settle in, and he takes another big gulp and drops down his mug, and you see there's some foam around his goatee.
I offer him one of my ubiquitous bajillion napkins I have in a pocket.
Of course you do, Miranda. All your characters have that.
Napkins, because I'm not allowed to use prestidigitation.
Your barbarian gnome has had napkins on her at all times.
Yes, you never know when you need napkins.
He takes it and goes, thank you. He's about around y'all's age. Like, he's maybe a year or two older, but give or take, he's a young fellow. Definitely new to the cloth. His robes look very new. They're not tattered or... they do look worked though. You know, you see some
the
stains. Oh yeah. There's some dirt stains that just won't come out and things like that.
Yeah, it happens when you tend graves.
His hands are, kind of a little calloused, and he's like, "So where are you from?"
We're technically from Dewdrop, right?
Dewdrop.
I'm just asking you that, but yeah.
What city is that near?
Etchings?
No.
Miro?
Yes.
Miro.
I've never been to Miro. Is it pretty?
Yes.
I want to go see the church and the lake. I've heard the lake is beautiful. You can see the mountains twice, they say.
It is the eponymous mirrored lake, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
So what got you into the church?
Oh, well, I was born in Vout, which when you live in Vout, you kind of just get into the happenings, and you see the angel once, and it's inspiring enough to kind of get you to get into it.
See the angel?
Yeah. Yeah, when you see the angel, when they come out to give their declarations, we all gather in the plaza and at the main cathedral there and listen to the speech, and it's quite inspiring. So I decided to join, and I love learning.
They didn't come find you?
No, they didn't come find me. I went and found them, and I was taught, and then they taught me how to pray and how to pray over others, and then. Once I passed all the exams after about 5 years, they started allowing me the scriptures of miracles. Have you ever seen a cleric do a miracle?
I have, actually.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
As he does, he like says something, and then a light, his holy symbol begins to it just starts shining like a light. Because this is the miracle of light. Like, you can make objects glow. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the clerics, the upper clerics, they have a whole smorgasbord of miracles, but they keep a tight control on the ones they give out to others. Once you increase in the ranks, they'll give you others so that you can perform other spells and things like miracles, not spells. I'm sorry, that's bygone era. Let's not go there.
What's it feel like when you do these miracles? Like, what's it feel like? I've always wanted to know. Never had a chance to ask anybody.
Give me a persuasion check.
22.
Oh, his ears perk up. It does not catch on to what you're doing at all. Any of your subtleties. He's like, oh, it's you just feel a connection, with through the angel, and you just feel a connection with, and just, I don't know. It's very exciting. You get goosebumps. You start getting full of energy, and then you create the miracle, and you can just feel it flow out of you and into whatever you're trying to do. And it's magnificent, really.
Do you have ones that you use specifically for like grave stuff?
Oh yeah, I do.
Look, you got to know it's not a job people talk about a lot. So I'm curious because we see all the other ones.
Most people just find it strange and just don't want to get around it.
Nah, it's really important. Like you said, we wouldn't want them walking around.
I have a miracle that basically stops an individual from decomposing too early, so that when the ceremonies are being done, the family doesn't have to witness any of the mortality of their deceased family member. I can also, if the sick's brought to me and someone is, on death's door, I can stop it before we can get the healers in, and I can heal. I've healed quite a few people that came in We had a farmer that came in and they thought that he had died, but I thankfully, as I'm supposed to, checked for a heartbeat and found it. So I was able to spare him of dying and practice some healing and then get him to the more proficient healers in our church. So, I have some good things. I can also detect, evil and good. I have to do that once a day in the graveyard to make sure nobody's waking up underneath the ground. I've never seen an undead, but they happen. So I make sure it don't happen.
But, well, that's good. I'm sure the city is safer for your actions.
What do you study? What do you do?
Well, right now, since I'm just starting, I'm kind of studying everything, you know?
Oh, that's good. And you study as well? We're all a bunch of book nerds, aren't we?
Yeah, what would you like to learn that you haven't? Or what is your biggest question? Because Jimothy here, he likes to, swing a sword around and poke people with it. I like to play music, so I want to learn everything there is to learn about music and that weird connection you can make with other people with it, where it transcends what feels like just sound. What do you want to learn? If you could learn anything, what's your big question?
I'm not sure. I've never been asked that before. I would think my big question is everybody taken care of? And if not, why not?
Everybody?
Everyone.
Everybody. I guess one of my other big questions I've always asked is this it?
Yeah, everybody asks. Not everybody.
I don't necessarily mean like the whole death thing. You see that a lot. I just mean like, is this it? When you learn, you have to wonder, what were they thinking when they wrote it down? What are the things that we're not supposed to think about? Is this it? And why? Just because I'm curious. You start reading and things like, you're just like, I wonder. Sort of like when I first started playing, and at this point I'll take out my my lyre of my new case, and I'll just play like a real simple chord. I'll say, it's like when you start playing this, and you hit learn a couple chords, and then I change up the complexity and she gets like really intricate, but then you can do this.
It's very beautiful.
Sounds really complex, but it's not when you break it down. But you wouldn't have known how to do it if someone didn't show you, or if you hadn't thought about it.
Right.
So that's what I always wonder. Just curious.
I like to collect figurines.
No, yeah?
Nah, I like little porcelain things. Trumpets cut across the sound. The light of the sky has begun to fade into its final rays. On an erected stage in front of the cathedral, you all turn to look and see two individuals are standing up there. And Cleric Carmine goes, Have you ever seen the Arch Cleric before?
Have I?
Roll a history check.
Nope.
No, you have not.
Because that's a 6, even with my history.
Jimothy goes, Who? Hey. Carmine looks back and goes, on the left, you see up there is a black feathered Aarakocra dressed in not high regal, but definitely fine clothing etched with laces of gold and gold buttons and such. He stands up with his chest out proudly, looking over the crowd at everybody. Carmine goes, that's Lord Edgar, AK space EDGA.
Wait, okay.
Or
so add at AD.
AK, I'm sorry.
AK.
Space EDGA. Edgar.
DG what?
A.
Edgar. Acta.
Mm-hmm. And then standing next to this individual is a robed figure wearing robes very similar to Carmine's, though clean, a little more pristine. Is a older looking man with a kind of a boldish cut, little bit going into his eyes, clean shaven, very thin, mid-50s individual. He goes, and that's the arch cleric of the city. That's Christopher Mindful. He's my head boss. I never talked to him though, but he's like, if he's in the hallway, you kind of get out of the hallway. But that's everywhere you go.
So he's the arch cleric of
The city.
the city, and the other guy was the arch cleric of what?
The other guy is roll a history check for me.
Oi.
Just this one's gonna be easier.
No. 7.
1 second. Let me see if I can help you with Jimothy here.
Come on, Jimothy, you've been studying.
Jimothy goes, yeah. So, oh yeah, I know. Like each major city has a lord or lady over it. They rule over the judges and the laws, and then each cathedral in the city has an arch cleric who just is all over the entire branch of the church. Carmine goes, that's right. And then all 6 of the arch clerics, they answer to the angel in Vout.
So the Lord Acta is the arch cleric of the cathedral or the city? I'm
Lord
confused.
Edga is the lord of the city.
Okay.
But he's over basically the judicial part of the city.
Lord of city, judicial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you have the arch cleric Christopher Mindful.
Sorry,
who
I was
is
making
over
sure
the
I was
church.
clear on who was
Yeah.
what.
And I want to make sure I get it through, especially for anybody listening. I want to make sure that we are crystal clear on all this and no confusion. Lord Ack walks up and goes, Citizens of Etchings, I wish to thank you all for a year of hard work and the progressions we have made towards our betterment. Remember, this day is meant for fortifying your homes for the prolonged hardships. The judicial building, by grace of the church, will continue to have supplies for those who need them. Please send a message by one of the guards, and we will have the supplies right to you. Remember that. Also remember the curfews and the restrictions that no one walk alone in the city. Always be 3. Once again, if you need help, a member of the Lance will escort you. Now, Archcleric Mindful for the closing prayer. And Carmine turns his chair a little bit and puts his hand over his symbol on his chest and just gives his full attention to the Archcleric. Gracious tidings to you all. The angel has blessed us with another year, and so we stand here at its closing. The festivities stand as a reminder that even during our darkest times, the grace of the angel shelters us all. Go now to your warm beds with your filled bellies, and fear not the haunts of the night, by the grace of Vout. And he tucks his head low, and you see a ripple in the crowd as everybody else who has placed also their hand over the middle of their chest bow their heads in one nod.
So may I ask if when I was playing the lyre or the lute for Carmine, that's his name, right? Carmine?
Yeah, are you wanting to cast a spell?
Well, what I was going to do is I was just going to do the detect magic because it's up to 10 minutes. So it's just kind of like...
What are the components? Let's look
Well,
at that.
it's verbal and somatic. That's why I said when I was doing that, like playing thing, just weave it into...
Oh, so
while I was
detecting
speaking.
magic. Sure.
Because I know his symbol would light up.
It technically doesn't as you cast detect magic on him.
But it is magic.
It's his...
You learn at School of Magic, if any.
Of course, and it's his focus. So a focus is not in a way magical per se in the game, but I will say, sure, you do see a light trickle, very faint, like the faintest traces of magic that is on the symbol. Like it's definitely nothing powerful. It's definitely a conduit.
Sure.
Because, in the D&D game, you have focuses like a
Right.
wand or staff and yada, yada, yada.
Right, yeah. Well, no, I'm just because I know that these people or whatever up there are like, we always do all these things. I'm just very curious to see if like the prayers that they do have some kind of like charm effect or whatever. I'm just curious.
While you're holding that, you don't see any charm occur. It's just words.
Okay.
Just words of praise and also to fortify people's hearts because the next month is very hard.
Gotcha. Just curious.
Carmine...
Now I'm questioning everything.
Oh, as you should. Carmine takes a big sip of his drink, puts it down and goes, so this was a pleasure. I hope to meet you two again. I won't come to the solarium unless you send me a letter of invite. That would be rude. But if you want to come to the church, I'm at the graveyard. We could not stay at the graveyard if y'all want to hang out, but I'm going to head and start cleaning up. So, Y'all take care.
All right, you as well. Nice to meet you.
By the grace of the angel. He bows his head and smiles at both of you and stands up and begins to meander away. That was odd. I like him.
Yeah.
They're not all bad. And he kind of gives you a fist to the shoulder.
I was sort of testing the waters.
Yeah, I know. You always test the waters.
That's what I do. But I had to know because,
They're just people.
Yeah.
Like us.
And people can do really great things and really terrible things.
Yeah.
Even if believing in something really good.
Yeah. And I know he turns and looks around. I know they're hunting us. But they can't all be bad.
That's one of the reasons I was checking things out to see if that's what that was for. And I think he was literally just super socially awkward.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's definitely low on the charisma. All right. I'll see you in a month.
I guess so.
Yeah. Voidon happening. I mean, I don't want you to have to travel back and forth from the city to the Prime. I'll send letters or whatever if there's any Lance heading this way, but you know how it goes.
Yep, I do.
I'm gonna do a lot of sleeping, and I actually checked out about 10 books I'm gonna try and get through.
Oh wow! Look
Yeah,
at you.
be proud of me. Different heroes of the Lance and things like that, and some chemistry books. So, yeah. And he kind of reaches over with one arm, embraces you in a hug. Is there anything you would like to do before we end the festival and go on to the next part?
No, I mean, I think that she would have just kind of wandered around. Honestly, like, as much as Lia loves to perform, I feel like she's been doing a lot of that at the tavern. So it might give her a chance to kind of scope out what people are doing.
Okay.
I also think that she might try to pick up message during Voidon so that she can just chat with Jimothy.
Okay, yeah, it's something you could talk to Theal about if you want to when you get back.
Okay, yeah. Well, because it's a bard, sorcerer, and wizard cantrip.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip. I would have to replace something with it.
There is a distance on that, but we can discuss that afterwards.
Feet. Ooh, yeah.
That's okay. We can definitely discuss that. It's something you could change out during your next level.
Yeah, see if you could put like a not a cell phone tower, but like a message tower.
You return from the festival, filled with food and drink, ready for a warm bed to carve away the fatigue. You expected to find the room just as you left it, but unfortunately, you find your dorm to be completely turned over and practically destroyed. Your few changes of clothes are dashed across the floor. Your mattress is cut with the stuffing pulled, and every drawer of your desk has been pulled free. Your old loot case has been opened and tossed across your desk. Thankfully, your loot was not inside and was with you.
Mm-hmm. Good thing I always keep everything with me. I don't trust these.
You look wide-eyed upon the scene as the other students go past you to their dorms. And that's where we'll pause. See you in a couple of weeks, everyone. Bye. Thank you for listening. Please leave a review anywhere you found us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Bountiful Bards. We hope to see you again on the civilized road.
And bring bread and cheese.
As the story goes, until then.